From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Lisa Laporte. The Bloc Québécois is ruling out the possibility of an early election, saying it won't support a Conservative non-confidence motion in government set to be tabled next week. 16 Canadian soldiers have been released from hospital following a training accident at CFB Valcartier in Quebec. The Canadian Armed Forces says yesterday's accident involved 2 armored vehicles, noting repairs on the equipment are now underway. Canada abstained today in a high-profile United Nations vote demanding an end to Israel's unlawful presence in Gaza and the occupied West Bank within a year. The General Assembly passed the resolution by a majority, asking to enforce an International Court of Justice ruling. That ruling states Israel is breaking international law by occupying Palestinian land it captured by force in 1967. Canada's ambassador to the United Nations, Bob Rae, told the Assembly the motion was too one-sided to support.
Our problem with the resolution is that it goes well beyond the ICJ advisory opinion. We cannot support a resolution where one party, the State of Israel, is held solely responsible for the conflict.
Rae does say Ottawa agrees that Israel's occupation is illegal. Rogers Communications is buying out Bell's 37.5% stake in Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment. Canadian Press reporter Sammy Hudis says the deal grants Rogers a bigger ownership stake in MLSE.
With this acquisition, Rogers now owns the majority of Maple Leaf Sports Entertainment. A minority stake is still owned by Larry Tannenbaum of Kilmer Sports.
The $4.7 billion deal still needs regulatory approval. The U.S. Federal Reserve cut its benchmark interest rate by an unusually large half point. It's a dramatic shift that comes after more than 2 years of high rates that helped to tame inflation while making borrowing painfully expensive for consumers. Ontario Sports Minister Neil Lumsden says he'll donate his brain to concussion research.
The former Canadian Football League star announced on Wednesday at Varsity Stadium he'll be donating his brain to the Concussion Legacy Foundation Canada, assisting with research on brain injuries. Brain donations are important for gaining insight into the prevention, diagnosis, and treatment of chronic traumatic encephalopathy, a neurodegenerative disease linked to repetitive head trauma. The 71-year-old Lumsden of London, Ontario, won a Vanier Cup with the University of Ottawa in 1975. John Kennedy, The Canadian Press.
And a new musical concept album about the 1979 cult classic film The Warriors is set for release next month. The project features singer Lauryn Hill and a few gender-swapped characters, including those in the gang itself. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the Toronto Blue Jays continue a 3-game series with the Rangers tonight in Arlington, Texas. The Rangers won last night's opener in a 13-8 slugfest. The surging Vancouver Whitecaps are in Houston to take on the Dynamo in Major League Soccer action tonight. And Toronto Maple Leafs captain Austin Matthews says he was impressed how Mitch Marner handled the chatter around him this summer. The winger's future has been a hot topic as he enters the final year of his contract with the Leafs. Matthews says Marner looks ready to go for training camp.
With all the noise, you can only control so much, so I think he's put in a lot of work. He looks great on the ice, off the ice, focused, and we're all here to support him and as teammates and as a team.
Marner has been eligible to sign a contract extension since July the 1st. From the Canadian Press, I'm Lisa Laporte.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.